There were huge title changes and much more at Wrestle Kingdom 16 Night 1. We'll get to it with spoilers in a moment. Plus, a WWE Star says a New Japan match is possible, and an AEW talent responds to lack of diversity claims within the promotion. It's all in the wrestling news right now. New Japan Pro Wrestling Wrestle Kingdom Night 1 is in the book, in the pocket, out of sight, and loads of stuff going down on Night 1 to let you know about. Obviously, if you haven't seen it yet, you might want to give this bit a little skip. Move forward. There's some other news coming up. Move forward about 4 or 5 minutes and you should be good. Okay? Cool? Warned? Right. We have a brand spanking new IWGP World Heavyweight Champion as Kazuchika Okada has defeated Shingo Takagi in a 30-minute belter. It was great to watch. And as a result of Okada becoming the new champion, he will face Will Ospreay tomorrow night at Wrestle Kingdom Night 2. After the match, we saw Okada initially dismiss that new belt, that controversial new belt. Thoughts on the new IWGP World Heavyweight title belt, Ross?
The old one's better, Tom. Everyone knows this. The old one was arguably the best, most wonderful, most snazzy-looking, beautiful thing in all of professional wrestling.
So you, like many others, got very excited when Okada initially dismissed the new belt and went to hold up the old belt, the V4, the IWGP. And as he did, we all kind of went, so is this how they get rid of the belt then? And then he then placed the belt on the floor and then had the new IWGP World Heavyweight title placed around his waist instead. This brought out Will Ospreay, his opponent, for tomorrow night to give it all this. He walked around calling a lot of people slags, which confused Kevin Kelly, which always makes me happy.
A slag?
Don't know what a slag. That's what Kevin Kelly said. I don't know what a slag is, but apparently I'm one of them. Oh, my mate Kevin Kelly. I should have told him what a slag was when we last spoke. And they size each other up. Ospreay calling Okada an interim champion, saying that Okada from tomorrow, once he loses his match to Ospreay, can go off and become an actor. Some speculation that's Okada has got desires to go off and do other things. But Okada called Ospreay a fake champ, said he'll see him tomorrow, and then Ospreay left, calling everybody slags. It was wonderful. So that's our main event for tomorrow night at Wrestle Kingdom. Also last night, the IWGP Tag Team titles changed hands. Yoshihashi and Hiroki Goto are your new tag champs. They defeated Dangerous Tekkers. I'm sad to see Zack Sabre Jr. lose a title, Ross. I'm sure you are too.
If he wants a Tesco meal deal, I'll get him one just to pick up his spirits after a devastating loss like that one.
Lift the poor man. They lost in good form though. It was a great match and there was respect at the end that showed between the former champs and the new champions. You may have heard a scream of sadness from the northeast of England about an hour or so ago. You may have heard a wailing like a wounded animal. It was from the home of Sam Driver as Tomohiro Ishii lost the never open weight title to Evil at Wrestle Kingdom 16. A match filled with lashings of interference from Dick Togo and Sho and many others. And new champion crown once again. A lot of titles changing hands at night 1 of Wrestle Kingdom. And amongst all of the title changes and all of that stuff, New Japan had a big announcement regarding TV coverage, didn't they, Ross?
They did. They're going back to Access TV, AXS TV as some might call it, on Thursday, March the 3rd at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, which is where they used to be, and now they're back there, and that's a good thing. Will Jim Ross be there? I doubt it. But he might be. He can do anything, that man.
He really would. So we're going to get new episodes of New Japan on Axis following Impact Wrestling. Until we get new episodes up and running, they're going to be showing some classic New Japan stuff there, and I think that's a really lovely block of telly for Axis to have Impact and New Japan so close together, because you know the Impact audience has already been introduced. If they weren't already, they've already been introduced to New Japan by having a lot of forbidden doors swinging open over the last 12 months. So it's nice to have those two in a block together. Could we potentially see a massive forbidden door kicked open between New Japan and WWE, Ross?
I mean, no, but Shinsuke Nakamura certainly wants to. He's been speaking to Tokyo Sports about New Japan Pro Wrestling's 50th anniversary, and he says, I hope there is something I can do to help them through my company, which of course is WWE, as we're here, sat in 2022. A match would be ellipsis, a dramatic pause here from Shinsuke Nakamura. Difficult, he says, but if they're ready to try to negotiate, it might be possible. But right now, the situation is such that they are probably going to have to quarantine the wrestlers and take border measures, whether they're traveling from one side of the world to the other side of the world. It's nice that he's put that sort of reason on top of Vince McMahon not wanting to do business with anybody.
There is that as well. But Nakamura goes on to say the situation he said it would be nice, but if the situation calmed down and there was a TV show that invited me outside of matches, he'd be up for it. And it does seem unlikely. I know we dismissed the idea outright, but WWE were very close to having that sort of arrangement with Daniel Bryan / Bryan Danielson before he went to AEW. And So I know that the conversations are there. Do you know what? Genuinely stranger things have happened. And there's something quite... And if WWE were so inclined to give a monkeys about the Intercontinental Championship, if they were so inclined, they would let Nakamura do something with New Japan. Of course, he is a 5-time IWGP Intercontinental Champion. One of the most decorated guys in New Japan history. And to be fair, Tom...
Yes, it would be nice to see. And to be fair, if Shinsuke Nakamura just went to Vince McMahon and said, "Oh, I heard that you gave Bryan Danielson the option to do this maybe if he stayed with your company. Well, I'll stay with you for life if you let me do it. So let's play bingo." I don't know what I'm saying.
Let's play bingo. Shinsuke Nakamura's famous catchphrase, "Let's play bingo." I want a "Let's play bingo" chant at SmackDown, please. When Nakamura's on, just to confuse him and everyone else. We'll end with this bit of AEW news. So you may have seen by now what went down on New Year's Eve with regards to Tony Khan and Big Swole. So Tony Khan responded to comments made by Big Swole about the lack of diversity in AEW. Tony Khan responded with a tweet sort of highlighting numerous wrestlers who were getting showcased in AEW and then taking a shot at Big Swole saying like we didn't keep her on because she wasn't good enough, which was a strange way to conduct yourself. But then this led to a conversation about the diversity within AEW. Will Hobbs put out a statement on Twitter about it just a few hours ago, and he said it often flies under the radar that Tony and Mega are people of color, and having them in charge of AEW represents progress for pro wrestling. I see firsthand how hard they're working to make wrestling more diverse. Tony works hand in hand with the people of color on the roster all the time about their story ideas, their input, and their matches. Not every idea will work, but every idea is listened to and valued. As a black male, I plan on using my voice to do what I can to make sure that this company is diverse. I'm also very aware that diversity comes in many forms: women, black, Latinos, East Asian, South Asian, Southeast Asian, LGBTQ, and much more. The more diversity, equality, and inclusion we can build in wrestling, the more fans we can engage with, and the more fun we can all have together. AEW is a young company led by people of color heading in the right direction. I'm proud to be part of that momentum, and I know my colleagues stand beside me when I say that. Now, I know that this isn't the sort of conversation that Ross and I should be having for obvious reasons. It's not a conversation really what we can do though is we can get people who can have that conversation and have great opinions and discussions on that. So if you go to the Cultaholic Wrestling podcast today, you can download a chat that I had yesterday with William R. Washington. He's one of the hosts of Grapsody on Fightful, and they do weekly reports on the wrestling world through the lens of the black wrestling community. And they had an incredible episode of their show following this tweet from Tony Khan, and I wanted to hear what Will had to say about it all, and you can hear that on the podcast feed right now. And of course, we'll keep you up to date with other news and stuff about this and other things at cultaholic.com. What have you got planned for the rest of today, Ross? I realise I just talked loads there.
No, Tom, thank you very much for carrying 95% of this video. It's been lovely sat here watching you speak. I'm just going to catch up with the wrestling head of the Cultaholic Wrestling podcast today and get working on another voiceover script. Are you
doing the podcast today?
No, just watching all the wrestling over the weekend.
Oh, I was going to say, do you know
this
what?
is my first day back, Tom.
You could have convinced me that today was Friday. It's every time it's a construct. I feel like we've literally just had a month of Sundays, and I'm very, very confused by everything.
Tuesday, isn't it? Yeah, it's Tuesday.
I think so. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
If you've just made a return to the channel, lovely to see you again. There's loads of great stuff from the channel over the summer.
Tonight.
Over summer, over Christmas, rather.
Over Christmas, yeah. Tonight there's a video with myself and Adam Pacitti back on camera together, opposite each other on a table, trying to make each other laugh. That's what I'm going to say.
Is this the one that had some serious ramifications for the rest of 2021?
Ramification. I don't know what I've said there. Is that the French word for ramifications? I've got no idea.
I think it's le ramifications.
That's what they are.
YouTube.com/Cultaholic. Later. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.
Let's play bingo.